As I arrived masquerading as a dead man called Graham, I was apprehensive about what I would... But I had no choice. I had to find the stalker. And whoever he was, Graham was my only lead.
Initially, I thought that the dialogue cutting out was on my end, but this is my third attempt at recording, and it's happened at every single time, really. So this is where Graham lives. I'm not going to dick around with all the electronics just yet, as we have really only just started this game, and there is a lot of plot to cover in this episode.
The seal on the floor showed my buddy Joey just as I remembered him, when I left him in charge all those years ago.
Hey, buddy, watch where you're standing.
What's your problem?
Your face, for one.
Excuse me.
Well, if you hadn't been staring at the floor like a moron, you'd have seen me.
This is rather random.
I didn't catch your name.
I'm your mama.
What?
Wow.
Do you live here?
Do I look like I live here?
I'm not from around here. Maybe everyone here looks like you.
Yeah, and what do I look like?
Trouble.
Keep walking.
Do you know where I can find Joey?
Oh, I don't know. Weirdo. They say he walked into the gap, or sailed across the sea. Either way, he abandoned us all in this place.
You don't like it here?
Needs more color, wouldn't you agree?
What happened after Joey left?
Well, duh. Council runs the city now.
Do you know a guy called Graham Grundy?
Nope. Sounds like a moron.
In that case, let me introduce myself. Graham Grundy.
Doesn't surprise me.
I'll leave you to whatever it was you were doing.
Aw, really? I'll miss you.
Yes, I'm very busy.
Hey, dirtbag! What's your favorite color?
Huh?
You heard me. What's your favorite color?
Something tells me that no matter what I say, it will elicit the same kind of response.
Green?
Green. Green is not a creative color. Later, man purse.
Later, backpack.
Ha! You got nothing.
Clearly not everyone in Union City was quite as courteous as they were happy.
Okay, that was random, but I was not expecting that. But something tells me that we will be speaking to her again at some point.
Apologies, Citizen Graham. This is not your residence.
Someone had spilt paint on the floor. The holdall was stained with paint. Looked like someone planned on doing some painting.
Water tank depleted.
Maybe it's this person's paint? What is she... Okay.
Commencing refill.
The cleaning robot was clearly designed to carry heavy water tanks. With no hand scanners, I figured they were intended for droids.
Ray, please stand back.
I believe that we have only gone up one floor. And
Refill.
it's a little bit weird that there are multiple floors, but the stairs only go up one and no further. But this is an adventure game and not an open world RPG, so I can accept some limitations with the game environments. I'm guessing that this is our residence. Well, Graham's.
Wait, I know that you, Chip. Oh my, is it really? Yes, it is. Master Graham, you have returned. How wonderful.
Oh, good day, huh?
I shall inform Madam and her guest that you have arrived. She will be so pleased.
No, that won't be necessary.
She will be overjoyed that you have finally returned to the bosom of the family. My apologies for the interruption, Madam Songbird. It's Master Graham.
What about him, Chipworth?
It appears he has arrived home, Madam.
He has, but that's wonderful! Oh, thank Joey! My dear husband is back!
Ah, I was hoping to meet you, Mr. Grundy. Mentor Alonso, Ministry of Well-Being. I was just here to investigate some irregularities.
I'm sure my Graham needs a few moments to freshen up. Why don't I show you my kudos records? I don't know who you are, but right now we're both in a lot of trouble. So for both our sakes, you'd better convince the mentor that you're Graham.
Yes, of course.
I'll stall him. Just don't come through that door until you know enough about Graham to pass yourself off as him.
Don't worry. You can count on me. I wasn't sure what I'd walked into. But if I was to convince anyone I was Graham, I needed to find out more about him. His job, his family, his state of mind. The mentor could ask me about anything. Information about Graham was scattered all over the place. All I had to do was look around.
I believe that we can actually go through that door and basically fail this task. But I am trying to play straight a game through this. I may play through this again and see what happens by trying alternative things, but for now, let's try and be good.
Hello there. Chipworth, wasn't it?
Master Graham, may I say, sir is looking even more fabulous than usual today.
Why, thank you.
Has Master Graham lost weight?
Maybe. Does Master Graham look like he's lost weight?
Oh, yes, sir. And it would appear sir has gained some height as well. Bravo.
Tell me, Chipworth, who was that woman just now?
But that was sir's wife, Madam Songbird.
Yes, of course. My wife.
Is sir quite feeling himself? How serendipitous that the well-being mentor is here then, is it not, sir?
I need you to do something for me.
Just say the word, sir.
Please, can you do the laundry, Chipworth?
Excellent idea, sir. I'll have your coat cleaned in no time.
On second thought, my coat's fine.
As sir wishes. Request respectfully declined, sir.
But aren't you my butler droid?
Yes, sir. I have been sir's butler for a very long time.
Then why can't you tell me?
Standing orders, sir.
Whose orders?
You... nice try, sir. Almost had me.
Graham had made sure his droid wouldn't talk. I had to do my own investigating.
It seems like from a certain angle, the audio glitches out quite noticeably.
Tell me about that woman.
Woman? Can sir possibly be referring to his good lady wife?
Humor me. For instance, her name would be...
Madam Songbird. Clearly, sir is not feeling quite himself today. Sir might recall he even forgot dear old Chipworth's name earlier.
Who?
Me, sir.
Wow.
Who was that guy in here when I arrived?
Is Sir referring to the gentleman currently probing your wife in the bedroom?
I guess I am.
That would be the Honorable Mentor Alonso, Senior Officer at the Ministry of Well-Being. I believe that he would like to see you next.
He would?
Mentor Alonso indicated that there were one or two anomalies in Master Graham's records. Public voting, kudos levels, employment, whereabouts within the city,
Just some minor things, then.
consumption patterns, biosigns, indication of physical existence.
I think I get the picture.
But I'm sure there's a simple answer, Master Graham.
Tell me about the mentor.
As a high-ranking official of the Ministry of Well-Being, he is here, I am sure, to evaluate the well-being of this household.
Well-being?
Health, social participation, work fulfillment, the usual, sir.
So, what do you do, Chipworth?
Whatever Sir desires.
Maybe these are a little bit extreme.
So if I told you to set fire to something, would you do it?
Sadly, sir, one's capabilities are restricted to the minutiae of domestic service.
Shame.
We are what we are, sir.
At least as far as anyone else needs to know. How are you, Chipworth?
I am well, sir. Thank you for inquiring.
This mentor, what will he ask me about?
The Ministry of Well-Being is always concerned, sir, with a citizen's well-being.
Well-being?
That's right, sir. A citizen's health and happiness, their relationships and social life, all of the utmost importance to the Ministry. He might also inquire if Sir needs any support in the workplace or similar.
Why exactly was I selected?
I believe Sir's 2-week-long work, poll, and social hiatus may have raised some concerns. Just be yourself, sir, and you will be fine.
Of course, because I am Graham Grundy. Is this interview just going to be about me?
Correct. The mentor is here to assess Sir's well-being.
And what happens if Sir answers the questions incorrectly?
Incorrectly, sir? Get them wrong? How could Sir possibly do that?
Perhaps I hit my head on something.
Ha! Very droll, sir, very droll. Might I suggest that Sir just be himself and it will all be fine?
I didn't have long. I needed to learn about Graham Grundy, and fast. I need you to do something for me.
Just say the word, sir.
Please, can you water the plants, Chipworth?
Very good, sir.
I guess we should look around.
Something told me the fire was not authentic.
What gave you that idea? That's quite a nice view. Too many buildings in the way for my liking.
Definitely an improvement on the food dispensers they used to have here. Personally, I preferred an open fire for cooking. At least one person in the city appreciated a nice cup of coffee, although I doubted Union City Blend contained even an ounce of actual coffee beans. Union City Red. I suspected it was more fruit juice than wine. Fairy tales, courtly romances, and art books. Amethyst or purple glass? Either way, it looked expensive. Rhythmic gymnastics, first place. That looked like Graham and his wife on their wedding day. They looked blissfully in love.
I hope the mentor hasn't looked at this photograph too closely.
A shelf full of sports gear and awards from years gone by.
Keep a smile on your face.
Oh, so yes, that does control... Well, the Minos terminal does actually control the image shown here. Okay, so we're not going to go in there just yet.
Tempting, but I'd already had my monthly bath.
Really? Well, I guess life in the Gaplands is slightly different.
Welcome back, Graham. Displaying your health chart now. It has been 2 weeks since your last checkup. You have lost weight. Congratulations! It has been noted that your height has increased, adjusting records accordingly. Scanning for medical implants. Error. Implant missing. Refreshing biomodification database. Please wait. Removing cardiac implant registration. Registering Schriebman port as new implant.
The scanner had detected my Schriebman port, which allowed me to interact with Link, the city's old network. Since then, I'd pretty much forgotten about it.
Adjusting your health rating from C to A+.
I was considerably fitter than Graham. That was good to know.
Give me a checkup.
Scanning. Your physical health is within the top percentile for a Union citizen. Congratulations.
Thanks.
You are welcome, Citizen Graham.
What devices do I have installed?
You possess a U-chip personal data implant in the perlicue of your right hand. It is functioning correctly. Your cardiac regulator implants have been marked as removed. Please return them to your nearest medical waste facility. You possess a Schriebman local interneural connection port in the third cervical vertebrae. This hardware predates the Minos system and cannot be accessed at this terminal.
That's probably for the best.
You are welcome, Citizen Graham.
I wonder if that implies that the Schriebman port could still be useful.
Do you have any advice for me?
A single can of Spankles contains more than your daily dietary requirements. Look for the clown. Drink Spankles. Keep a smile on your face.
Thanks.
You are welcome, Citizen Graham.
That's all for now.
Due to the alteration of your physical parameters, a new uniform has been ordered and will arrive at your home shortly. Keep a smile on your face.
I was a lot healthier than Graham. In fact, I'd say Graham was downright unhealthy. I had made some headway, but I still needed to know about Graham's work and social standing. So Graham was a cleaning supervisor? The logo on the uniform was quite distinct. I needed to find out who he worked for. If I slipped up, I'd be exposed right away. After 10 years in the Gap, I'd almost forgotten what a toilet looked like. There was a boot print. Curious.
Now that is curious. Where would that lead to? I mean, to access the window, you could just stand on the shelf here.
I was hit by the acrid smell of chemicals.
Something tells me that the Grundy's marriage is not made in heaven.
I wondered if Graham self-medicated. When I came to Union City 10 years ago, this was very much the case. These days, I wasn't so sure. Anti-Hobart propaganda. Some things never change. A printer? It was rare to see one of those. How to survive a war. Better just to not be around to see them. The droids who stare at goats. A classic.
I have a friend who would appreciate this poster.
The box was for a deluxe hollow plinth replacement lens. There was nothing inside. I wondered if the people knew that Hobart agents had helped me save their city. A security forces copter. I still had nightmares about those things. Twice I'd flown in them, and both times they'd crashed. I hoped I wouldn't have to risk it a third time. An impressive collection of medals, ranging from bravery to long service. Most of the medals dated back to before I was born. A sword? The blade was cracked. A uniform like the one Graham's wife wore. It was cut for someone much larger. I needed to find out who he worked for. If I slipped up, I'd be exposed right away. It looked like one of the land trains from the city walls. It was a detailed model. Developing fluid and trays. I hadn't seen gear like this since I was a child. Looked like these photos were taken by the city walls. The blind blocked out all the light from outside. You can tell a lot about a man from his shoes. In this case, that the man had no taste.
Why can't we take that money there? Is it money? Or is it bottle caps? I don't know. Anyway, onwards. I believe we have learned most of what we need to learn so far, apart from a couple of things.
A chart showing that Graham's kudos score had recently dropped. I wondered what had caused such a sharp decline. I had gathered quite a bit of information about his health and social situation, but I still needed to know exactly what he did for a living. The council was made up of 5 ministries. Each ministry had their own logo and distinctive color scheme. From the color of his uniform, it was clear that Graham worked for the Ministry of Comfort. I had learned all I was going to from Graham's apartment. I hoped it would be enough.
It's Warby. Now let's go and see Madame Songbird and the Mentor.
If I was going to convince the Mentor, I had to be sure I knew enough about Graham.
No, we are done here.
I couldn't keep them waiting any longer. From that point on, I had to be Graham Grundy, cleaning supervisor.
Darling, I thought you were going to freshen up.
I was, but I missed the sweet sound of your voice.
Oh, Graham, always the romantic. But please don't kiss me until you've showered.
Wouldn't dream of it. Besides, I couldn't let Alfonso here.
Alonso?
Monopolize my lovely wife for a moment longer.
In which case, shall we begin?
Of course. Shall we take a seat in the lounge? It was now or never.
So, Mr. Grundy.
Mentor Alonso, what would you like to know?
Ah, well, straight to the point. I like that. As I was explaining to your dear wife earlier, there have been some issues with your activity records of late.
Issues? What do you mean?
Mr. Grundy, a word to the wise. This will be much smoother if you leave the questions to me. Now, whilst your records load, remind me, in which ministry are you employed?
We're going to start off easy here.
Comfort. I'm a cleaning supervisor.
Yes, of course. Here we go. Graham Grundy, 42, cleaning supervisor with the Ministry of Comfort. Cleaning supervisors require Class C exertive activity certification. I trust that your health rating is sufficient.
I wonder if we could have chosen C if we didn't...
Cat got your tongue?
No, of course not. If we didn't actually change anything in the bathroom.
I did drop down a bit, but I'm back to Class A+ now.
Excellent, excellent. Very good. So, with that in mind, I will mark you as fit for work, barring any other issues. Now, obviously, your kudos level will have fluctuated due to your absence. You're a C+ right now. I note you used to be much higher.
Yes, B.
B.
Yes, well, you'll be back up there in no time. Well, that is all I need to check off. But I'd be remiss if I didn't offer you all the extra support and guidance that you need.
Mentor?
When someone goes off-grid, there's usually some underlying trouble. And as a mentor, I like to think of myself as a bit of a troubleshooter.
Of course. I appreciate the concern.
So, let's get to the bottom of all this confusion. Dig a bit deeper, eh?
Deeper? Yes, right. By all means, Mentor.
Tell me about your workplace. I trust there are no issues.
I'm going to wait a second here. We know it's a train depot because of the photograph. But I would regret it if this didn't happen.
The land train facility. It's a fine place to work.
I'm sure it is. Department of Land Trains and Extra City Commerce. Wonderful.
Oh, yes. Couldn't be happier.
We are, of course, very grateful for your service, Mr. Grundy. But there we come to the crux of the matter. Your absence. 15 days is a long time. This is, of course, why my ministry has become involved in your case. We have been concerned for your well-being.
I'm fine. Better than ever, in fact.
Excellent. Now, speaking of your health, I note you had some surgery last year. Tell me about your implants. Are they working effectively?
I'm not too sure why
Something the matter?
Nothing wrong?
I'm guessing she would know about his surgery.
You mean my heart regulators? Nothing to worry about. As you can see, the beat goes on.
Yes. Well, I must say you're in remarkable shape considering your medical history. Of course, your mental well-being is just as important to us. How are you getting on with your rather peculiar hobbies?
Oh, please. Please. I believe that she is the mime artist here.
You mean my photography?
I do, yes.
You can't beat the feeling of an old-time film camera.
I can imagine. You have an eye for composition. Although I don't understand your interest in using such archaic technology. Choosing to fiddle with knobs rather than availing of ministry-recommended filters, stabilization, automatic archive, and data retrieval, all courtesy of Minos. If we can't see what you create, how can we share in your interests?
What can I say? I like a challenge.
I'm sure you do, Graham. Ah, well. I have a busy day of appointments, so sadly we must conclude our little chat there.
It's been a pleasure, Mentor.
Hasn't it? So with that in mind, perhaps you can tell me where you've been for the last 2 weeks.
What? Right. Yes, where have I been the last 2 weeks?
Well?
Okay, so the last 2 weeks, I was working at the land train facility, of course. Cleaning. I'm a cleaning supervisor. And while I was cleaning, I must have bumped my head. The next thing I knew, I was in the middle of nowhere, still on the train. 2 weeks later, the train returned to the city. Cleaner than it's ever been, I might add.
My poor darling! How awful! What a dreadful thing to happen!
I believe I have all the answers I need from you.
Well, that's a relief.
I'm sure it is, Mr. Grundy.
Well, thank you for stopping by.
Just a teeny tiny thing before I go. There appears to be 1 or 2 anomalous results here.
Anomalous? That doesn't sound good.
It may be nothing. But here's the thing. I get strange readings when I scan your U-chip. Any idea why?
Maybe it got damaged when I fell.
Ah, yes. Of course. That's probably it. You see, the only other time I've seen anything like this is when a U-chip has been tampered with. No one would have done that now, would they?
Tampered with? I didn't even know that you could do that.
Graham's a supervisor, not a subversive mentor.
Yes, a supervisor, not a subversive.
Damaged when he fell. Request analysis. There. Perfect. I have everything I need.
Great. Chipbot will show you out.
Chipworth, darling?
Just my little joke. Chipworth.
Good day, Mr. and Mrs. Grundy.
I don't know who you are or what you've done with Graham, but I think we got away with that.
I hope so. I don't think that we would get away with it a second time.
Nor do I. If there is anything wrong with Graham's U-chip, you would better sort it out sharpish, before Alonso's analysis comes back.
Who even are you? Where's Graham? Are you that contact he kept ranting about?
Whatever Graham had been up to, it had gotten him killed. I had to come clean with his wife. There's no easy way to say this, but I'm afraid Graham is dead.
What? How? Where?
I found him. In the Gap.
The Gap? What was the idiot doing in the Gap? Was that where he was always sneaking off to? Ugh!
A child, Milo, was abducted from a village out there and brought into Union City. And I think Graham was somehow connected.
Sure, and pigs fly. Listen, stranger. I'm sure you can understand this has been a rather harrowing day. This is all too much for me right now.
Tell me about it.
So, I'm gonna do some damage control on social media. In the meantime, I guess that officially it is your home, so you can stay, but this is my bedroom, and that one is yours. No cute ideas.
Understood. Songbird seemed rattled by the news. Not surprising. But whoever this contact of Graham's was, I suspected they were the key to finding Milo.